I got a call from my ex-husband's wife when she called me hysterical because my kids did not want to go to Disney with them on Mother's Day. My ex Ryan and I have 3 kids, Jordan, who is 16, Megan, who is 15, and Lucas, who is 11. We separated when I was pregnant with Lucas because Ryan decided that a high-risk pregnancy was a good excuse to cheat on me. Yes, a real gentleman. The divorce was horrible. Ryan's new wife, Hannah, showed up about 4 years later. And from day one, she made my children's lives impossible. One minute she demanded they call her mom. The next she was screaming at them just for breathing too loudly. She was going through fertility problems and basically took it out on my kids as if it were their fault she could not get pregnant. We went back to court multiple times over her behavior. In fact, the judge warned them on 3 separate occasions about trying to force the children to call her mom, saying that was parental alienation. They even had to take parenting classes. My children were in therapy for years dealing with Hannah's emotional outbursts about her fertility problems and how she deserved to be their real mom. Last year, they were old enough to choose their custody arrangement. They went from every other week with Ryan to just 1 weekend a month. That says everything about how much they enjoyed being there. So yesterday, on Mother's Day, Ryan called me asking if the kids could go to Disney with them and their 2 young children. I asked my kids, and all 3 said no, flat out, without a second thought. I told Ryan what their answer was and hung up when he started yelling. Then around 3 in the afternoon, my phone rings from an unknown number. It was Hannah, crying so hard I could barely understand her. She kept saying the kids had to be there because they were her kids too, that she was their mom, and that Disney was not the same without them. It was all so ridiculous that I just burst out laughing. I mean, what did she expect after years of treating my kids like problems she needed to fix? I hung up on her, but then the messages started. Dozens of them. My phone would not stop vibrating. I looked at the screen and saw 32 new messages in less than 10 minutes. Ryan and Hannah were taking turns bombarding me with their words full of rage and desperation. You are selfish. You have always been. Ryan, my babies need to know their siblings. Why are you so cruel? Hannah, I am going to sue you for parental alienation. This time for real. Ryan, I just want to be a complete family. Is that so hard to understand? Hannah sat on the living room couch and kept reading. Each message was more pathetic than the last. Hannah alternated between calling herself a victim and threatening to take my kids away from me. Ryan switched from legal intimidation to emotional guilt. It was a pattern I had seen 1,000 times over the years, but this time something was different. This time I did not feel fear. I felt absolute clarity. Jordan came down the stairs and saw me with the phone in my hand. He had that worried expression he had learned to wear from a young age, as if he were always prepared to protect me from something. Is it Dad again? He asked. Yes, and Hannah, do you want to read the messages? He sat next to me without waiting for an answer. I handed him the phone. I watched him scroll through the screen, reading each message with an increasingly serious expression. After a few minutes, he gave me back the phone. Mom, she is crazy. She says we are her kids, that you are keeping us away from her. I know. And Dad is threatening to take you to court again. I know that too. Jordan looked at me with those eyes that looked so much like mine. What are you going to do? That question made me pause. What was I going to do? For years, every threat from Ryan had paralyzed me. Every crisis from Hannah had made me doubt myself. I always ended up giving in a little, apologizing for things that were not my fault, trying to keep the peace for my children's sake. But this time, looking at my 16-year-old son who had matured too fast because of all this chaos, I knew exactly what to do. I am going to document everything, I said. Jordan blinked, surprised. What? Every message, every call, every attempt at manipulation. I am going to save it all. I took my phone again and opened a new folder. I named it Evidence, May 2024. So that when your father tries to take me to court again, the judge will see exactly who they really are. Megan appeared in the living room doorway, her laptop under her arm. What are you talking about? Dad and Hannah, Jordan answered. Megan rolled her eyes and dropped onto the armchair. Are they still going on about Disney? Yes, and now they are sending threatening messages. What a surprise, Megan muttered sarcastically. She opened her laptop and started typing something. What are you doing? I asked. Looking up information about minors' rights in custody cases. I have a friend whose mom is a family lawyer. At our age, judges listen a lot to what we want. I felt a pang of pride mixed with sadness. My children should not have to learn about custody laws and parental rights. At their age, they should be worrying about school exams and which college to apply to, not how to protect themselves from their own father and his wife. Lucas ran down the stairs with his Nintendo in his hand. Mom, can I play online with Tyler? Sure, honey. He dropped down next to the couch and started his game, oblivious to the conversation we were having. Or maybe not so oblivious. Lucas had developed that ability to seem distracted while actually hearing everything. It was his defense mechanism. My phone vibrated again. This time it was a call from Ryan, not from an unknown number, but from his actual number. I let it ring until it went to voicemail. 30 seconds later, it vibrated again. Voicemail message. I put it on speaker so Jordan and Megan could hear. I need you to call me back immediately. This is serious. Hannah is devastated. The children have a responsibility to keep this family together. If you do not cooperate, I am going to have to take legal action. I already spoke with my lawyer this morning. His voice sounded tense, desperate. It was not the voice of the arrogant, controlling Ryan. I knew during our marriage. It was the voice of someone losing control of their narrative. Responsibility to keep his family together, Megan said, emphasizing the possessive. We are not part of his family. We never were. He says he spoke with his lawyer, Jordan added. That is a lie. It is Sunday. No lawyer answers calls on a Sunday morning. He was right. It was a cheap intimidation tactic. The phone vibrated again. Another message from Hannah. Please, just let me talk to you. Mother to mother. I know you understand me. I laughed out loud. I could not help it. What does it say? Megan asked. I read her the message. Mother to mother, Megan repeated with disbelief. She is not our mother. She never has been. I know, honey. Are you going to tell her that? I looked at my daughter with her hair pulled back in a messy ponytail and her eyes full of years of accumulated frustration. She was 15 years old and had spent half her life dealing with Hannah's drama. No, I am not going to respond to her at all. Good, Jordan and Megan said at the same time. Over the next 2 hours, the messages kept coming. 53 in total. I saved them all methodically, adding them to my evidence folder. Some were from Ryan, trying to sound reasonable. Others were from Hannah, oscillating between victimizing herself and attacking me. I always knew you were a bad person. I just want what is best for the children. You stole my chance to have a family. You are the one destroying this family. Each message gave me more clarity. For years I had wondered if maybe I was the problem, if maybe I was being too protective, if maybe I should try harder to make things work. But reading these messages, seeing the desperation and manipulation so obvious between the lines, I realized it had never been my fault. Hannah was a deeply unstable person who had chosen to take it out on my children, and Ryan was a coward who had allowed every bit of abuse because it was easier than facing his own failures. At 6 in the evening, my phone rang again. This time it was a number I did not recognize, but it had the area code from where Ryan lived. Are you going to answer? Jordan asked. Number if it is important.
To continue, tap the arrow in the bottom right corner and copy the link, then tap the CapCut icon in the bottom left.